Welcome to Annapolis Mosaics. Our program spotlights people in our community who are involved in activities designed to promote good human relations. I am Michael Keller, the chair of the Annapolis Human Relations Commission and your host. The commission is a city board that seeks to promote equal opportunity and to eliminate discrimination. My guests today are Tina Marine, who is a board member of Friends of Quiet Waters Park, and Dinah Little, who is chair of the Friends Fine Arts Committee. Dinah and Tina, welcome to Annapolis Mosaics.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well, let's start by talking about the mission of Friends of Quiet Waters Park. How long has it been part of the park, and what is your mission?
Well, I'd be glad to answer that.
Absolutely.
The Friends of the Quiet Waters Park started in 1990 at the inception of the park itself. And it started with a couple, Bob and Eileen Thomas, who were very prominent in the arts community. And Eileen, as a matter of fact, ran the Maryland Federation of Art. And together with her husband, they had started the Friends of MFA, but they started the Friends of Quiet Waters Park back in 1990. The Friends, I would say that the mission of this is a group of people who understand the value of having this wonderful 336-acre park available to the public. And our concern and our mission is to protect the park and its resources. We also are very involved in reaching out to the public so that they understand what is there and what's available to them. And because everybody is more concerned right now with environmental concerns, we have a lot of education that is available to the public so that the environmental impact are well understood by the public. We have over 300 members, and we are always looking for additional members that want to be involved in our mission.
The more members, the better.
Okay.
This past year, we spent many months developing a strategic plan under Matt Chassie, who's a member of the board.
Right.
And we developed goals and a vision, a 5-year plan. And we want to enhance the public's experience when they come to the park, make it as enjoyable as we can. So the Friends volunteer and participate in many activities.
You mentioned the strategic plan. I know as part of this strategic plan you had short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals.
Yes.
Can you tell our viewers a little bit about what some of those goals were and how you're seeking to meet them?
I think the most important goal to us is that we want to increase participation. And we're hoping to grow our membership. We have an upcoming membership meeting that will be recounting what we've accomplished in the past year. But we want people to come on board because this is, if we're going to preserve the park, we need as many people as we can to help do this, to accomplish this. So we have formed many committees that are able to implement programs and make better communication because we feel like maybe there has been a little bit of a lack of communication and letting everybody know what's available over there. There's just so many things going on.
You mentioned that the Friends try to assist the park staff in enhancing the enjoyment that visitors have. How do you do that?
Well, probably you will notice us very prominently at the concerts. And we help with, we have helped with the parking, but we've also hosted a raffle table, and we sell tickets, and we go through the crowd and try to get donations. We help in soliciting sponsors for the park, and
we also do volunteer activities for Bark and Bash and the festival. We help put the arts festival together and that type of thing. Another short-term and long-term mission and goal is working with outreach in the community. And this is trying to make partnerships and working with businesses in the community as well to support the park.
And what does that entail?
Tina, you?
In terms of working with businesses?
Well, the most recent one is that we have just teamed up with we have just started a Maryland Naturalist program.
Okay.
It's not unlike the Master Gardener program.
All right.
And we teamed up, by teaming up with Friends of Quiet Waters, what they are able to do is offer a venue for them to host these classes. And so in conjunction with the University of Maryland Extension Program and the Department of Natural Resources, we now are just starting a 12-week program which will allow these 20-some people that have signed up for the class to eventually become volunteers and give time back to the park. But they will have gone through a 12-week program where they will have been totally educated on a lot of the ecology and understanding what goes on in the park, nature-wise, and they'll be able to do their own walks through the park and identify trees and talk about, they will be certified.
Okay, let's talk about some of the annual programs that the Quiet Waters Park puts on, and your role in it. I think our viewers would be interested in that. One of the things that you do, and you made reference to an arts festival. Could you tell us a little bit about the arts festival?
Yes. We have an annual arts festival, and we've had this festival, Mike, for 24 years, and so it's become a draw to locals. Locals come back year after year, and we have about 70 artists, 70-plus artists, and they're highly juried, so the quality is very good. And the venue, and Tina keeps talking about the venue, and the venue is Quiet Waters Park, which is absolutely beautiful. And we often have artists speak to us year after year about how wonderful it is that they get to exhibit in such a beautiful place. So the venue itself is a draw for the Arts Festival. And then, of course, this wonderful art that we have. Last year we had 9,000 visitors in the 2 days, so it's a good draw. We have artists from local artists, quite a few local artists, as well as from across the state and surrounding states.
What kind of artwork is typically displayed, exhibited?
What type of artwork?
Yeah.
It's quite a variety. We really try to get a variety of media, so we have about 10 categories that range from painting, two-dimensional art, to pottery and sculpture, and just a little bit of everything. Just quite a variety.
And you mentioned that the artists who exhibit are individuals who've got some pretty strong credentials in art, and they're local individuals as well.
Yes.
What kind of criteria do you use in selecting who gets to exhibit and who doesn't? With 9,000 people coming in, I can imagine that it's really quite a competitive thing. People are going to want to be there.
Exactly, and we have our artists register on a national juried art site, and we have about 6 jurors who are comprised mostly of artists, but artists and art patrons. And they go online and review the work and make the decisions. And so we're looking for fine arts, and we're looking for arts that are made by works that are made by the individual. They must be made by the individual, and they must be high quality.
And you've got something that's called galleries at Quiet Waters Park, too. Tell us about that.
Well, Tina was talking about Eileen and Bob Thomas, and at the same time that the Friends were formed and the Visitor Center was built, Eileen took one look at the visitor center and felt that it was a perfect space for a gallery. And so she created the galleries. She, and working with Michael Murdoch, who was then superintendent, who was also an art enthusiast as well as an environmentalist. And they created these galleries, and the galleries are located in the visitor center. And we have two galleries, a willow gallery and a garden gallery. Okay. And they're located in the visitor center. And from there, one of our missions for the Fine Arts Committee is to be able to make art accessible to the community, and to also foster and nurture creativity, individuality in art, and to provide this to the community.
We're going to take a break now, but when I return, we'll be talking with Tina and Dinah about some of the other annual events that go on at Quiet Waters Park, as well as some of their ongoing activities. I'm talking today with Tina Marine, who is a board member of Friends of Quiet Waters Park, and with Dinah Little, who is the chair of the Friends Fine Arts Committee. Some of the other annual events that you have, I think, would be of interest to our viewers, and at least one of them deals not with the visual arts, but the performing arts, and that is that you have a summer concert series. What does that entail?
The Summer Concert Series is in conjunction with the Department of Parks and Recreation. And they, the park itself, the rangers, actually set up the schedule. Our first concert will, we run for 2 months every year, all of July and all of August. The concerts are free. And when you think about how much it costs to go to Merriweather Pavilion or any of these other places, these are free concerts. The first one this year will be the Naval Academy Brigade. They play every year, give us 2 concerts. We have local people that come, and we get well-attended crowds, over 1,000 people. And people come and make an evening of it. The concerts generally start around 5:30. Now, a couple of years ago, we went through rainstorms, and I think we had a series of thunderstorms that kind of spoiled our parade a little bit. So if it's thunderstorming, they cannot play, obviously. But last year, we had great weather, and we had wonderful attendance. People bring their children, and the children dance in front of the stage, and it's just one of those enjoyable evenings under the stars. People linger, and it's free. We get to drive into the park. We have a schedule. We start passing out the schedules for the performances.
And we also have raffles that have donated items from people in the community. So that's a good draw, and to enjoy a lovely evening and be able to sign up for a raffle as well, and that gives more money to the Friends as well.
We raised at one concert over almost $700 just in raffle tickets, and that money all goes directly back to the park and enables us to, for the rangers, to buy things for the exhibits. We've paid for the helmets that they use in the ice rink. We're just able to give this money for the park's benefit.
And also the profits from the gallery as well, and the festival all go directly to the park, to the Friends, which supports the park.
Not surprisingly, Quiet Waters Park has an annual Earth Day, which fits right in with your mission. What do you do to celebrate Earth Day each year?
Well, this year our Earth Day is going to be more of a service day. In the past, we've had vendors, but this year we have decided that we will be planting trees, and we will have nature walks, and we will be informing the public about our oyster restoration project. That is a 5-year program that has been going on, whereby volunteers come over to the park and actually clean the cages where they're growing oysters. They hoist the cages out and wash off the algae and help these little oysters grow. And then they are replanted because they are big filters for the bay. As we all know, we are all trying to clean up the bay. So this is a very popular project with the public. And we're, again, looking for people to participate. So on Earth Day this year, there will be explanation of that project. And hopefully we'll get a lot of people coming to hear about that.
There are a lot of activities that the Friends offer or contribute to at the park. Just a few of them is the student and family interpretive programs such as winter owl and bird hikes or herp search or seminars and lectures, day activities and recreational activities. So you've got quite a repertoire of things. I'm certain that our viewers would really be interested in hearing a little bit more detail about some of these, the types of recreational activities that you have, what kinds of seminars and lectures you offer, and then these student and family interpretive programs. Can you enlighten us a little bit of some more specific things that these things involve?
Well, I can talk because I've been on a couple of the walks myself.
Give us all the details.
Well, I think one of the most exciting things is to go on an owl watch. And with that, you are in a group of people. It's night, and the ranger leads you into the forest, and it's totally pitch black. And we would stop and listen for the owls that are in the forest and identify the different sounds of the birds. So it's a real feeling of being one-on-one with nature, obviously. There are other types of hikes in the fall of identifying foliage and birds and all kinds of fauna and whatnot that's in the park. And those walks are held by the rangers, and also, like we said, this Maryland Naturalist program, we're looking for people to be educated so they can offer even more of those.
Oh, okay. The Friends also support, I think you alluded to these in one of your previous answers, a number of environmental initiatives. You offer oyster nurseries, stormwater education, composting demonstrations, reading in butterfly gardens, a whole lot of really interesting things. What can you tell our viewers about these programs? Is there something you'd like to talk about, any of these, or some of the specific activities that you offer?
I think the butterfly garden is one of the most wonderful things that happened to Quiet Waters Park.
What is it, and what do you have?
The butterfly garden was founded by Lee and Catherine Feldman, and it was under an organization called Garrett's Light. And when Lee and Catherine lost their son at an early infant stage, rather than dwell on the tragedy of it, they decided to begin the development of this park that they wanted to dedicate to all the children in Anne Arundel County. So they built this state-of-the-art water park that has permeable and impermeable surfaces, and it's tied in with the watershed, and it has beautiful benches and flowers and butterflies. And they have reading circles there, and children come and can spend the afternoon and read in a circle, and all this is a tribute to this couple who wanted to keep the memory of their child alive in a wonderful way that benefits a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so that is the Butterfly Garden Park.
I was just going to say, and the other programs that the rangers do from time to time are developed by the rangers and the county recreation and parks, but they're supported mostly by the Friends to be able to provide resources. And then they also do an outreach to people in the community who have scientific knowledge or natural knowledge and can give these particular seminars. So from time to time, we have seminars that the public can be involved in.
Mm-hmm. You made mention earlier about really good success you've had in terms of gaining members, but you're as a priority for your strategic plan is you want to obviously get more members, and that's a very, very important part of your plan. What are the benefits of membership? People watching the show today are going to say, "Well, yeah, I can become a member, but what am I going to get out of it? What's the advantage of being a member? What are the benefits for membership in the Friends of Quiet Waters Park?"
The major benefit that you get is that you know that you're supporting the activities of the park. We have a members meeting, a yearly members meeting. There are 3 levels of the membership, and Tina, you might know a little bit more.
Right.
Okay.
The different levels that you can become a member. We have it starts as low as $25 and goes up to $50 in the first level. And then the second level goes from 50 to 100, and then anything over 100 is what we call the Blue Heron Society. And again, all that money is directed to helping to the park, the funding.
And you become a member of the community. You know, in this particular park, we're all volunteers, and the Friends, it's all a volunteer basis. So we won't say that you're going to get any concrete anything that comes from being a member, but you become a community, and a community that supports the park, and that you can provide these creative ideas and help us know what more we can do and how we can support.
What are the different ways in which you make use of volunteers?
Oh, we can use a lot of volunteers.
Well, how? What do you do?
One of the things that we referred to earlier were these programs that we have of doing oyster restoration or weeding, or some of the things that we can help support the park as far as physical things like that. Tina, do you know more?
Well, I think I mentioned it previously when I said that we had the summer concerts. I mean, it's not beneath us to put on a vest and help direct the traffic, because we do get these enormous crowds that come.
Right.
We set up tables. We help with setting up the vendors. That we do have an on-site restaurant, Pit Boys. That so we're there to just assist. So we definitely need more people to be involved with.
And as far as the arts, we can certainly use people to sit on the arts committee, the arts festival planning committee. Certainly we can use a lot more hands in that, so that's something that would be very helpful. And the other thing is regarding the festival, 2 days before and 2 days during, we have lots of activities that we can have them help with our setup and help during the show, as far as something we call hosting, which is you're able to go to the artist and see if there's anything they particularly need and give them breaks and that kind of thing, and working at the raffle table and the information table. So there are lots of things that we have to do at the park that can we can use volunteers.
What plans does the Friends have for the future?
Well, we have a lot of ideas that we are trying to put into effect in the coming next 5 years. One of the things that we are going to be working on is a permanent interactive exhibit at the Visitor Center on the second floor. So we're essentially taking over the second floor, and we will have a permanent nature center interactive where people can come and not have the art on the first floor and then come upstairs and learn a little bit more about what exists in the park. We will have a show this year like we did last year, but this will become, as of the year January 2015, will be a permanent exhibit at the park. So again, adding to the education of the public of what exists there.
If our viewers are interested in learning more about Friends of Quiet Waters Park, or interested in volunteering or becoming a member, how can they reach you?
Well, there are lots of ways to reach us, and one way is our website, which is friendsofquietwaterspark.org. You can Google it, or you can go to fqwp.org, which stands for Friends of Quiet Waters Park. We have a Facebook page, and we also have some
Newsletter.
email addresses. We'll talk about the newsletter in a minute. We also have some email addresses. Our president is Carrie Decker, and she can be contacted at carrie@fqwp.org. We also have a festival. If you're interested in the festival, if you're interested in any part of that, you could contact us at festival@fqwp.org. We have a newsletter that is that is a benefit to the members. One of the things that we do send out is an electronic newsletter, and that's sent on usually a monthly basis, and that tells all the activities that we have in the park and gives you the resources of where you can contact people.
Thank you for viewing our program today, and please join us again on Annapolis Mosaics. If you would like more information about the Annapolis Human Relations Commission, please jot down the information on your screen. You can reach us at 410-263-7998 or by email at hrcommission@annapolis.gov, or check out our page at the City of Annapolis website. Go to www.annapolis.gov, click on the city government icon, then Boards and Commissions, and scroll down to the Human Relations Commission page. And always remember the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "We have flown the air like birds and swum the seas like fishes, but have yet to learn the simple act of walking the earth as brothers and sisters."